Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Michael J. Bunch and I'm an author working on my first novel. In this video, as the title suggests, I want to discuss some of the inspiration behind my book. And in fact, I want to discuss inspiration in general, as I've found that the more I work on this story, the more inspired I become. The ideas keep flowing both for this book and for future projects. First, let me give you an overview of my novel, which I'll call Project 1 for now. This book is a dark fantasy that follows a character named Aldric, who is what's known as a risen, essentially an undead being. And the story opens with Aldric waking up in his crypt hundreds of years after his death. He has no memory of who he was or how he ended up there. The novel chronicles his journey as he navigates this changed world, tries to uncover the mysteries of his past life, and grapples with the reality of existing as an undead. As Aldric attempts to piece together his former identity, he crosses paths with a variety of other characters, both living and undead, friend and foe. His interactions with them and the challenges he faces will slowly fill the blanks of his memory. But unlocking those secrets also means confronting some harsh truths about the man he once was. The story explores themes of identity, redemption, the weight of the past, and what it means to be human. So, what inspired this dark tale of an undead's quest? Well, I've always been drawn to the idea of a character wrestling with memory loss and a mysterious backstory. The concept of waking up one day and not knowing who you are, but sensing you had this whole other life. It's both fascinating and terrifying to me. Combined with my love of dark fantasy and the supernatural, Aldric's story arose pretty organically from those interests. I would say films like The Dark Crystal and Army of Darkness also. But what I didn't expect was how much delving into Aldric's journey would open up the floodgates of inspiration and ideas. See, the more I developed the supporting cast and the world they inhabited, the more my imagination started spinning with possibilities. Creating the lore and history of the setting, I would get flashes of inspiration for other characters' backstories, other events, and eras that could be explored. Soon ideas for not just a sequel to the novel, but a whole series of interconnected tales. So as it stands, I envision Project 1 as the first of a two-book arc centered on Aldric's story. But I also now have outlines for 3 prequel novellas, each following a different supporting character, and filling in more of the world's history and secrets that Aldric uncovers. It's been incredibly exciting to have one story spawn so many new ideas and avenues to explore. Before I continue, I'd like to kind of go over what those novellas would be, who they'd follow. So one, if you can tell by my background, it's going to follow more of a barbarian type of character. So he's going to explore some of the southern areas and also a little bit of the northeastern area on my map, which I'll show in future videos. And then the other novella would cover more of the eastern side of the map, and that would follow an archaeologist uncovering some of the past of Astrion, which is the continent. So I think this is the magic of inspiration, though, to get back to the video. It's not a one and done resource, but something that multiplies the more you engage with it. And the act of writing itself, of developing characters and plot threads, it inevitably leads to even more what-ifs and imagine that. And I believe giving yourself permission to follow those threads of inspiration, even if they lead you in unexpected directions, is what enables you to grow and thrive as a writer. Speaking of unexpected directions, working on Project 1 has also inspired me to experiment with some new techniques in my writing. So the dark fantasy genre lends itself to a certain moodiness and atmosphere that I really wanted to capture in the descriptive prose. I found myself stretching my abilities as a writer to craft language that matched the tone of the story. So things like playing with sentences, playing with their cadence to increase tension, or invoking different senses in metaphors to make a scene more immersive. The novel's premise also forced me to get creative with my world building. So building a fantasy setting that was original and fleshed out while avoiding cliches, it's been an exciting challenge. I spent a lot of time developing the lore and the mechanisms of how undeath functions in this world, from the mystical to the mundane. Nailing those details might seem tedious, but I found the process deeply inspiring. And the more grounded the world felt, the more I became invested in telling a story worthy of it. Ultimately, my biggest takeaway from working on this novel has been to never underestimate the power of inspiration. What started as a small seed of an idea for Aldric's story has blossomed into a garden of possibilities. It's pushed me to grow in my craft, and that's what I love about writing. There's always some new horizon to chase, some new level up of your skills. And while the first draft of Project 1 is nearly done, I know the work is far from over. Revisions and edits await, not to mention the business side of publishing. But daunting as that may seem, I feel energized to tackle it head on. Because that's the thing about inspiration. Once you have it, you'll walk through fire to see the vision realized. I hope this peek behind the scenes of my book has inspired you as well. Whether you're a fellow writer, a fantasy fan, or just someone who appreciates a good story, I truly believe there's magic in the creative process. That's what Project 1 has affirmed for me. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe to keep up with my journey in bringing this novel to life. Until next time, keep reading and keep dreaming. Thank you.